Question 10. A light bulb company produces a constant number of new light bulbs in their factory each week. The company stores the bulbs in the warehouse where old light bulbs from previous years are also stored. After 2 weeks, the company has 5,000 bulbs in the warehouse. After 7 weeks, the company has 8,500 bulbs in the warehouse. A. What is the constant rate of change in this problem? And B. Which equations correctly model the number of bulbs in the warehouse as a function of the number of weeks? Select one answer choice for question A and select all the correct answer choices for question B. Okay, so this is first wanting us to find out what our slope is. So the first question is we have to know what's our independent and what's our dependent event so that we can write the two coordinates, the coordinates for our 2 points. Independent and dependent. So I'm going to ask, does the weeks depend on the bulbs produced? Or does the bulbs produced depend on the weeks? So the number of light bulbs produced depends on how long they have been going for each week. So the light bulbs is our dependent event. So the bulbs, the number of bulbs is our dependent and the weeks are our independent. So time is independent. So now I can I can order our 2 points. So after 2 weeks, so we have 2 weeks, then we have 5,000 bulbs. So that's our coordinates for 1 point. The coordinates for the second point would be 7 weeks, and they have 8,500 bulbs. So now we know that since we are given an equation, we know that the slope is equal to the difference between our second y-coordinate, so 8,500, minus our first y-coordinate, which is 5,000. And divided by our second x-coordinate minus our first x-coordinate. So if we simplify this, that's going to equal 8,500 minus 5,000 is 3,500. And 7 minus 2 is 5. So that can be reduced even more. So I'll just jump over here to the Google calculator. 3,500 divided by 5, 700 bulbs. So this is equal to 700 bulbs per week. So how did I get bulbs per week? Well, the top 8,500 minus 5,000 is representing bulbs, and the 7 minus 2 is representing the weeks. So we had 700 bulbs per week. So that is our initial, our constant rate of change for the problem. So now the next question is did the bulbs per week increase or do they decrease? So since the company produces, that means it's increasing because they produce it. So it's 700 bulbs per week. So now when we have our point slope formula, we have 2 points that we can use. And so we're just going to first focus on this point. This will be our x-coordinate and this will be the y-coordinate. We do know that the slope is 700, so wherever we see m, we would do 700. So for this point, the equation, wherever there's an x1, since that's our x-coordinate, we would replace x1 with that, and since 5,000 is our y-coordinate, place y1 with that. So that's our equation for this at week 2. And at week 7, the equation, again, we have our slope of 700. That doesn't change because it's constant. constant number of new lights. So again, our x is 7 because now we're at week 7. We're going to replace that with x1 and 8,500 with y1. So those are the two equations that I can think of. So let's check for those two. So y minus 5,000 equals 700 times x minus 2 right there, and y minus 8,500 is equal to 700 times x minus 7. And that's how we would go about answering this question.